Bristol Community College, Mathematics with Dan Avedikian, Math 060, Topics in Developmental Mathematics.
Section 4.5, Problem 19. This is Section 4.5, Problem 19. It says solve the following. 70 is 140% of what number? So to solve this, what we have to do first is write it as an equation and then solve the equation. And you have to look for certain key words such as is, which will become an equals, and of, which will become a multiply. So 70 is becomes 70 equals. 140% of will be 140% times, there becomes a times. What number? The number is unknown, so we just leave it as a variable, n for number. Now, to actually solve this, I prefer to write the 140% in its decimal form. There's no decimal point written in the 140%, but it's assumed to be after the 0. So to just make it a decimal, not a percent, you have to move the decimal point 2 positions to the left, so it'll show up between the 1 and the 4. So I can rewrite the equation as 70 is 1.40 times n. Now to solve for n, so you'll have n equals, you divide the 1.40 equals n. Now, if you have a class where the teacher will allow you to use a calculator, with your calculator you do the numerator, which is 70, divide by the denominator, 1.40, and that's equal to n, and you'll get your answer very easily with a calculator. If, on the other hand, your teacher will not allow you to use a calculator for this class, divide it the long way. So, if you do that, if you're going to divide it the long way, instead of 1.40, you can call it 1.4. That's the same thing. With a calculator, it doesn't matter. Leave the 0. By hand, let's not write it. So, the denominator of 1.4 goes outside of the division symbol. The numerator, the 70, goes under the division symbol. Now, to actually do the division, I have to adjust the position of the decimal for the number in front of the division symbol. I have to move it to the end of the number outside, so it'll become a 14. Now, if I do that, it's moved 1 position. So the number under the division symbol, it's assumed to be at the end of the 70, it has to move 1 position, which creates a blank spot, which I fill in with a 0. So instead of 1.4 divided into 70, I do 14 divided into 700 will give me the same answer, but now I don't have a decimal. So 14 divides into 7, 7's not big enough, it won't go. So 14 divided into 70, 5 should work. 5 times 4 is 20, right? The 0, carry the 2, actually it works perfect. 5 times 1 is 5, plus the 2 more that you carried is 7. So I have 70 minus 70. Fits in perfectly, it's 0. I have another digit, which is a 0. Bring that down. So 0, 0. So something times 14 is 0. Well, must be 0. 0 times 14 is 0. Subtract 0 minus 0. No remainder, fits in perfectly. So the answer is 50. So 70 is 140% of 50.